Here in the studio with the live local artist. I'm touching up things. I'm in touch-up mode today. So you can see what I'm working on. Just flip you around. There it is. This is a piece I call the Texas Trinity. You got Coke, Christ, and Whataburger. What am I doing? Getting in and out. We've got contrast issues. I wanted to do something with bring out the to-go cup here in the corner. So you get to come along with me on that. This painting is a stencil that I cut out. It's also got some spray paint and oil, and I'm coming back with more oil just to touch some stuff up. Let's see here. Come on. The very, I don't know, very American, very modern to-go cup. You never know what's on the inside. When I'm on this piece, I'm thinking of the American artist Keith Haring. There's some Basquiat in here, some those New York pop artists of the 80s. The colors are reminiscent of that. There's the consumerism. I think a topic that, or an idea that was being explored in the arts those days, our consumerist tendencies and what effects that would have. Abundance certainly is a feeling of hedonism. And here, I think it's coming full circle with its influence and counter-influence. American pop, the Bible Belt. Can't get away from it around here. Stephenville, Texas. Cowboy capital of the world. Some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And then there's just some instances where it'll make you scratch your head and wonder, what the hell? Beautiful area for landscape painting. I get to do a fair share of that. You should follow my channel and see some of that. Explore the endless art on the other platforms. Much more diverse visually, because there's just all sorts of paintings that I've been posting for years. Live broadcasts, things of that nature. Get a sense of what I'm painting, because it changes from day to day. This is just one of many styles I like to paint in. But it's fun. And right now, I'm trying to emphasize the silhouettes of my main characters. We've got the to-go soda, we've got Jesus, and we've got Whataburger. Whataburger, a sloppy stencil, but I think it's quite profound the way that it worked out. It's Whataburger enough, we'll just say. And oftentimes in our consumerist society, you might notice, hey, they don't serve the same kind of food they used to. It's just not the same. I didn't do that intentionally. It just works out that way. And sometimes as I'm sitting watching the paint dry, these ideas come to me. Some of these hidden meanings or subconscious connections that can be made in the images. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I painted his nose kind of blue there. It's a different shade of black. We'll just carry some of that around and I think it'll give an added element of because I can draw a whole skull under here, really. And give you something to look for. I don't have to leave it so flat. What brush am I using, you might want to know? It is just a beat up brush. I've kind of trimmed down to get somewhat of a point, but it's old and abused. They stick around until I can't do anything for me anymore, whether it's a scratching tool or, you know, I always think, oh, I'll do something with the handles, and then I end up with 100 handles. Well, maybe not that many, but I'd have over 100 of them if I didn't clear out my paint box every now and then. Every now and then I just gotta clean out tubes of paint that I'm just still squeezing out the bottoms or the last of the pigment, and then there's always the brushes that are dried and unusable. A little bit more over here on this side. So like I said, I'm in touch-up mode, and all the paintings that are around the studio today, I'll take you for a ride. This is from Fort Worth Stockyards. They parade the herd down every day, and this is a painting I've been making over, I'd say I've been out there 3 times with it, working from sight, like Monet, Van Gogh, and the other impressionists. And it's made quite a stir out there. Folks really enjoy watching the painting come to life. I haven't been able to really entertain any offers. People are asking, what do I want to sell it for? But I'm not really done yet. I'm feeling a few more visits still, and each one of those, you know, there's a lot of stress involved in getting out to Fort Worth, and then you gotta sit there and deal with the people. That's really not the issue. I'm just not ready to think about that yet. Thank you for asking. What do I want to see change here? I've got a little issue with the tonal values there. And it's not really a loss. Sometimes I look at a painting and I'm lost. This one I just know it's processed. It's just going to take some time to get it where I want it to be. And I just got to keep taking it in that direction. And then as I'm going, little things change. And I take those into account, process it, and continue onward that way. One of the big things an example of that is this area here for a whole week. It's at, well, there's probably some photos I could post later, but it was at blank. There was the horse was not there. It was more brick road. In the stockyards, the streets are brick laid. And the light pattern on it was quite nice. It reminded me of something Van Gogh may have treated with the dashes, you know. But that would, for me, what I was looking at would have been the top faces of all the bricks. So it gave me a chance to make all these choppy, colorful strokes, kind of like Van Gogh's sunset in The Harvester, like the sunlight, or reminiscent of Pablo Picasso's portrait of Casagemas' deathbed, the light emitting from the candle. I got to do a lot of that on the floor, and you might see some of that still reminiscent in this. But it was a lot of that same color, and I just felt too heavy to me. So I had to come up with the change. I didn't know what. I was out there all day long last week on a particular day, and it sat blank. I worked a lot around with many of the other details, and didn't know what I was going to do. And then this guy came riding up on a horse, and there's a stoplight here that I didn't leave or didn't paint in the traffic signal. This is a very busy street, and this guy comes riding up in his horse, and he has to stand there at the stop sign. And this was actually him here. I got to sketch him in very, very loosely. His horse, and he sat for a cycle at the light and rode off into the sunset. And so I added him into the piece, and that completed the. Here's a better view of the whole painting. You know, you've got Letty's, the world famous boot and saddlery. You got people underneath the awning walking across the street. You can see the world famous cattlemen's and their big giant bull sculpture. We have the Hunter Brothers H3 Ranch. And then looking down Exchange Avenue, you can see the herd coming on their daily trek through. And then above that, we have a nighttime view of the same street. I'm working on that one as well. And then around here at the house, these are all paintings that are always up for touch-up. If they're on the wall, here's my modern landscape. It's a spray paint and oil, and it was a beautiful sunset, and I wanted to do something that kind of tied both of my passions together, streets and the studio. And here's where I'm at right now. I kind of like the dreamy feel, the half completed nature of this piece. And while I'm driving to get from one place to the next, we cover a lot of countryside out here, and here's a view of a pasture. Everybody was getting along here. There was chickens, and there was longhorns and horses, all grazing, having a good time. They looked like they were having a good time. What do I know? It was before it turned cold, so now it's cold here. It won't stay cold for long. The sun's already coming out. That warms a lot up around here in North Texas. I'm painting in Stephenville. My name is Gerald, and I'm the live local artist. You can give me a a like and a follow, subscribe, all that, and share it. Tell people about it. I think I need a little bit of, I need some atmosphere between us and the cows in the background, the pasture. I'm going to get a little bit of cerulean on my brush here. Give me just 1 second, and we're going to see what that does. We'll explore that one together. I like to use cerulean blue to create atmosphere, to create distance. And this time I'm picking up just a little bit of white and a little bit of burnt umber to go with that cerulean. And I'm going to start kind of middle ground, long strokes, and then blend that in. Hopefully that'll feel like some distant shadows. I don't have to create any kind of distinction between the blades of grass at that distance. I just want to alter slightly the tonal value of the color field behind it and around it. And that kind of creates, I don't know if it's contrast. It softens the contrast a little bit, so it takes down the contrast and allows me to, you see, I can already tell a difference there. It's easier for me to look at that distance and allow it to penetrate my psyche as distance, as physical distance, I think. I'm making up the words, whatever. I just like the way it makes my eye feel when I'm looking at it. So there you go. And I like the way it makes my eye easy to pass from the background to the foreground. And that, again, like I said, was just a little bit of cerulean blue, a little bit of burnt umber, and some titanium white. And we're going to do that in the background here because it's almost like a glare. It's the little things that really separate my pieces from, I don't know, from from garbage. The little things. I've thrown away canvases that I've worked on longer, so more. I want more distance, more atmosphere. I'm going to leave that like that. Can you tell a difference? You can when you get close. When you're standing there looking, forgive the camera movement. It is what it is. It's not a gimbal. It's me. That's a horse's butt. But they got round butts. So I'm going to round that one off a little bit. And then this one's all deformed here. Get some color. Let's cut these horses in. Let's do them a favor. Let's see. We'll try a little of this. Can't always take it out in the field. Sometimes I gotta do some at home. Let's see here. Let's cut your leg in here. Give me something to look at. Little line of demarcation. Yeah, these horses, this pasture is located just outside of Glen Rose, Texas. Coming on Highway 67. There's a beautiful field. Green all the time. The greenest green. The whole world was burnt to a crisp and by the summer and sun and the dry winter. Except for this place. And it's sloped at such a angle that it feels like a stage, like you're looking at a stage. It's really beautiful, really cute. I like it. It's worth the drive, folks. I don't know if I'm messing it up. I could always, you know, repaint it. So I proceed without fear. It's never lost. Sometimes it'll feel overworked, but you know, I'm learning. Oh no, I cut too much. Well, actually it helped out. You never know. Happy accidents. I'll take it. Careful with that brush. Careful with that brush. It's a sloppy, crazy. Alright, I like that. I like that. Anything up top? Do we want to do anything up there? Well, I'll clean off my brush. Just clean off my brush. Cool. I like that. Let's see what else we got around the studio since we are in touch-up mode. Here's my fish. I'm not gonna touch that, but here's some bullets that I started. Let's see. Pop references in color. Back over here with the Texas Trinity. We have Coke, Christ, and Whataburger. Here's a shot at one of my other tables, and again a pasture coming outside of town here. A herd of horses in the distance. I've been working on this one a little bit, touching up the yard. You can recognize that same green. Need a little bit of work in here. This was about to be the next move. Actually, we'll just go ahead and we'll do that one together. How's that? There's some paintings in the background there that I've had in the studio. Just kind of, there's the Coors man playing pool. And now we're going to do a little bit of work on this one here. What am I looking at? What do I not like? Over there, that tree line. That tree line's not doing it for me. So let's get a clean brush. Shorty. All right. And we're going to, what are we going to do? Start here. It feels dirt. It just feels cluttered. We're going to cut this off. Just going to paint this color. See what we're going back to the basics, all right? Color fields and contrast. Going back to the basics in here. There are runs in this area. In real life, there's like fencing. There's the same kind of fence that's hanging around the pen, keeping the horses in, and the coyotes out. Actually, a coyote could easily slip between the bars there, but it's mostly to keep the horses in. And there's like a run through here where they could ride and be trained, training ground, I suppose. But it got real cluttered. It was just hard to make it, to tell what it was back there. And that looks better. I already like that much more. We're just going to continue That same feeling on down. Feels like a little slope. Gentle slope. People don't need to know what's there. They'll never know. They might if they are fortunate enough to go. And then who even knows? It might not even be there when they get there. So for the sake of perspective, we're just going to paint it out. I put it in there when I was there. It worked, it didn't, and now it's gone. That's the evolution of the composition. And you know what? I don't even care that if you look, you can still see it back there. I think that adds to the character of the piece. I might change my mind next week, but for now, I'm moving on. I like that. I don't like these horses. They feel very small to me. I'm going to end up changing them. And the beginning of that is going to be... The beginning of that is now. I just paint that horse out. That one I can work with. I think I'm going to get rid of this one here. You make me feel small. And you're not working at all, are you? That doesn't work, does it? How about that? I like it. Like it better. Still feels kind of short. They feel misproportioned. So, let's do a little hit around here. And then alright, folks, let's do letting y'all go. Adios.